There is one more that comes to mind.
Ah yes, Gohan, my favorite character in Dragon Ball Z. That signature and nostalgic finisher to Kamehameha is a quick reminder to those who say that he's trash in Dragon Ball Z. Some people complain about Gohan being weak, especially during the Resurrection of Frieza movie, but Gohan was never trash. For those of you who are new or already like this video, welcome. I talk about and analyze TV shows, movies, video games, and anime. For this video, the main focus is on the anime Dragon Ball Z, specifically the character Gohan. Dragon Ball Z is a very popular mainstream anime and has been out since 1989. To this day, the Dragon Ball series is still talked about and made a walk of fame for pop culture. Dragon Ball is said to be the grandfather of anime because it's the most common one watched and the one that generally gets people into anime overall. Dragon Ball Z is a spin-off of the series Dragon Ball that focused on the character Goku and his life as a kid to an early adult. Dragon Ball Z adds in more characters including Goku's son Gohan. The show can be very brutal and graphic at times, but has many life lessons from friendship to self-sacrifice and even spirituality, which will be discussed in this video. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z since I was 5, and I was very oblivious to many of its messages. Now that I am older, the messages are very deep, clear, and meaningful. Gohan stood out to me the most. For this video essay and analysis, I simply call it Gohan is not trash. He really isn't, and I'm about to explain why from his childhood all the way up to his adulthood. Now let's get right into it. When you first start off with watching the Dragon Ball Z series, you are introduced to Gohan at 4 years old. Gohan in the start is like any 4-year-old. He is a kid, he sometimes whines, he likes to play outside and meet other kids, but the main difference between him and any other regular kid is that he is a Saiyan. In Dragon Ball Z, the Saiyans are an alien race that loves to eat, sleep, and most of all fight. Gohan is first memorable for crying, then quickly headbutting his uncle Raditz for threatening to hurt his father Goku. Unfortunately, Goku's ally Piccolo had to take him and both Raditz out, and Gohan was left without a father. Yet, the bright side was that Piccolo saw Gohan's strength and potential to fight that he decided to train him under his wing. In one filler episode of Dragon Ball Z called Plight of the Children, Gohan makes the ultimate decision to train with Piccolo in order to become stronger. Episode Plight of the Children, Gohan made an eternal decision to either go back home to his mother or train with Piccolo after temporarily meeting a group of children without parents and homes. Sadly, Gohan thinks about those children because he realizes that he is blessed and lucky to have a place and family to come home to. However, in the beginning of the series, the world is in jeopardy by the other remaining Saiyans, Nappa and Vegeta. So as much as Gohan wants to go home and be shielded, he decides to stay and fight. Gohan's decision symbolizes his maturity and being forced to grow up quicker in order to protect those he cares about, such as the children. In the episode Plight of the Children, Gohan is sad about the fact that he never sees those kids again and has no idea what has happened to them, which makes him realize that he has humanity and generally cares about people. The fact that Gohan felt like he wasn't strong enough to help protect the other children makes him realize that it is something that he never wants to feel like he fails at. So the point of Gohan's character ever since he was a kid was to get stronger only to protect those he loves or cares about. If Gohan does not, he will believe that he has truly failed in himself. For one who is only 4 years old early on in the Dragon Ball Z series, Gohan is extremely powerful. Ironically, he has his own personal set of villains as well, like his father. One villain who really came for Gohan when he was a kid was Garlic Jr. In both the movie Dead Zone and the anime series, Gohan faces off against Garlic Jr., and this was a short arc that truly showed Gohan's potential and power. In the movie, Gohan is kidnapped by Garlic Jr. and his men, and Goku alongside his friends come to the rescue. Garlic Jr. kidnaps Gohan because he possessed one of the Dragon Balls. In the Dragon Ball Z universe, the Dragon Balls are very important. The whole purpose of the Dragon Balls are that they are collected, and then Dragon named Shenron comes to grant almost any wish to whoever collects all 7 of them. So Garlic Jr. works to collect them all in order to be granted immortality and to take over the rest of the universe. To get Goku and his friends out of the way, Garlic Jr. summons the Dead Zone, which is pretty much like a black hole that could possibly instantly kill them or trap them forever. He almost succeeds, but Gohan lashes out and saves everyone. Gohan's willingness to want to save everyone he loves is his main source of power. He especially did it to save his father, since Goku already once previously died and did not want to lose him again. In the show, a Saiyan's power is built up by emotion, mostly either by anger or sadness. For Garlic Jr. to attack Gohan's friends, his mentor Piccolo, and most of all his father, evidently brought out anger yet determination to defeat his enemy. Gohan in some ways is like Goku, since they both fight for the people they care about. Biblically, whoever is slow to anger has great understanding versus someone who is quick-tempered, meaning that when it comes to Gohan's character, he is actually slow to anger. This is due to Gohan's kind and gentle nature that he received from both his father and mother's personalities. Gohan is not necessarily a typical Saiyan, since he is slow to anger in that he is part human. The main time Gohan shows anger in fights is when his family or friends are placed in danger. Other than that, he has a very peaceful spirit, but one that someone should never mess with. Gohan may have a sense of humility, but not every being is perfect. Sometimes it takes the right person, event, or thing to make someone snap. In Gohan's case, it was the villain Frieza. Frieza's appearance is horrifying, especially when he transforms in the anime. His appearance correlates with his personality, for Frieza shows racism in Dragon Ball Z. He often calls Saiyans monkeys, which is the racial equivalent of calling someone the N-word. In the Saiyans' case, they are called that since in the anime, they turn to giant apes under a moon and rampage without any memory or thought. So to Frieza, he views the Saiyans as idiotic and reckless. The Saiyans can be reckless though if they do not control their temper. Also, Frieza is racist towards Saiyans because he shows xenophobia, which is the fear of someone or something different from you. Frieza fears the Saiyans because of the fact that they are strong and that one may eventually surpass him in strength. So in the general plot of Dragon Ball Z, Frieza wiped out the Saiyan race and almost put them into extinction. The main ones who survived Frieza's genocide were Goku, Nappa, Raz, Vegeta, and Vegeta's brother, though he is not really talked about. In the episode Gohan Attacks, Frieza called Gohan a monkey and badly damaged his friend Krillin, which caused him to snap. Gohan attacks Frieza with multiple blasts and loses his temper. Gohan had a pretty tough childhood in general, since he always had to worry about fighting villains as evil as Garlic Jr. and Frieza and to avoid death. On the other hand, his anger became his strength as a Saiyan, and although Gohan was not completely strong enough to defeat Frieza as a kid, he did manage to land several blows on him, which proves that he always had hidden potential. Gohan managed to survive in his childhood and later unlocks his full potential as he grows older. Not only does he realize his fighting potential, he later learns to balance out his will to fight with his gentle spirit. Sometimes childhood or teenage years can be the hardest stage in someone's life. For Gohan, his teenage years was his breakthrough and a major turning point in the Dragon Ball Z series. Gohan's personality is still the same ever since he was a kid. He is still calm, fun-loving, and gentle. However, his mindset on life changes up a bit. Gohan grows to generally appreciate the good things in life to the point that he not only wants to protect only the people and things he knows or cares about, but he wants to save everyone, even showing mercy to his enemies. Dragon Ball Z has a recurring theme of a villain always wanting to either take over the universe or destroy it. During Gohan's teenage years, Cell became the main antagonist and is well known for being Gohan's archenemy. Cell is an android who first starts off as very weak and drains the lives of other people in order to slowly build up energy. However, his main source of power is the absorption of androids 17 and 18, who were once considered evil but not to the degree of Cell. Cell manages to achieve his perfect form with the help of Vegeta, as Vegeta's pride and curiosity get in the way of wanting to see Cell as strongest. At that point, Cell is almost unbeatable and even defeats Vegeta's son Trunks. Over time, Cell becomes so feared and is evil to the point that Gohan has frequent nightmares about him.
Please!
up! Wake
Cell,
up!
I'll get you!
Wake
I'll
up!
get you!
Wake up, Gohan!
Sometimes when someone dreams or has a nightmare, the dreams or nightmares become reality, and from then on they are prophecies. Gohan's consistent nightmares about Cell were confirmations that if Cell is not defeated, then he will kill everybody, including Gohan's mother Chi-Chi, who's the closest person to him besides his father Goku and his mentor Piccolo. Having so many dark nightmares, Gohan realizes the premonitions and that Cell is too dangerous to spare and live. Therefore, Gohan trains and grows stronger solely to defeat enemies who he believes are a major threat to humanity. He is not like his father Goku, who trains for the fun of it or views fighting as a hobby. Gohan is also not like Vegeta, who trains for his own selfish reasons to surpass Goku. Instead, Gohan trains out of compassion, and the thought of violence actually bothers him. Gohan is actually more human than Saiyan, because he does not necessarily get off by violence, and a regular human being cannot tolerate a certain amount of violence for so long. Gohan views death as a one-time event versus Goku, who's often nonchalant about death in the series since he keeps coming back from the dead. In general, Gohan truly views life versus death as it is. In his situation, it is indeed life or death.
I won't watch anymore. I feel it slipping. And I won't watch this anymore.
Speaking of death, Gohan witnesses the death of Android 16 as Cell stomps on his head. Out of every breaking point in Gohan's life, the death of Android 16 sparked him to snap the most. Before Android 16 was killed by Cell, he broke down Gohan's character and reminded him that it was acceptable to fight for things that he loved. Gohan and 16 both share one main thing in common, and that is the love and protection for life. Android 16 was not as violent as the other androids, except when it came to hunting down Goku, because that was what he was programmed to do. Yet 16 is most notable for looking at birds, so the visual of the bird flying through Gohan's eyes symbolized life itself and innocence. Animals can be very wise and sometimes show spirituality, and birds tend to be valiant and noble. Thus, Gohan envisioning a bird flying away through his eye reflects on his character, and that innocence is gone after witnessing murder. The small innocence that Gohan had left departs, and he turns into a full-fledged warrior bent on defeating Cell. His nightmares about Cell only foreshadow the battle that will soon to come. During the battle, Gohan turns into a Super Saiyan 2 for the very first time, which was a major event and turning point for the whole show for Gohan's character, and it boosts up his popularity within the Dragon Ball Z fan base. As a Super Saiyan 2 for the first time, Gohan experiences pride and cockiness. He beats Cell's sons, the Cell Juniors, and even temporarily spares Cell because his small arrogance was getting the best of him. The Super Saiyan 2 transformation took a major impact on Gohan's personality because it was his inner Saiyan unleashing. Gohan's short personality change compares similar to Goku's when he first turned Super Saiyan. Goku is usually known for being very goofy and easygoing, but after the death of Krillin by Frieza, Goku was filled with rage, which was hardly seen in the show, and another breaking point. The Super Saiyan transformations impact one's personality, especially when transforming for the first time, because there's a huge sea of emotions that one cannot control, and that is usually normal when someone witnesses death for the first time. Dragon Ball Z did a great job of showing how each Super Saiyan transformations for the first time was a major climax for the Saiyans. The transformations definitely brought out the emotional intensity of the show, especially for audiences who watched the anime for the very first time. By the end of the Cell Saga, Gohan almost loses hope, but calms down when his father appears spiritually and helps him beat Cell. Gohan is victorious in the end, and this generally shows Dragon Ball Z to touch on spirituality. Cell Saga definitely showed Gohan's growth, and was my personal favorite saga of the whole anime.
Wake up! The world is depending on you, Gohan. Believe in yourself, son. Unleash your true power. It's the only way.
Yes, sir.
Spirituality is sometimes a theme in the Dragon Ball Z series. Like in real life, supposedly, there's also an afterlife in Dragon Ball Z. In the series, whenever someone dies and they are cleared for judgment and have served great duties during their lifetime, they go to Otherworld, which is pretty much like heaven. On the other hand, if the person is evil and continues to do bad things and they do not repent, they end up in HFIL, which is the bad place no one wants to go to. After the Cell Saga, Goku ends up in Otherworld and continues to watch over Gohan spiritually as he grows up and continues to protect the Earth. When Goku was living, he was the main one who protected everyone, especially Gohan, against threats like Broly, who was coincidentally another Saiyan who survived Frieza's genocide along with his father Paragus. Generally, when Goku was living, he deeply cared about the protection of his son. However, Goku knew that he would not always be around to save everyone, since everyone has to go someday. So he teaches Gohan to mature more and to take his place as Earth's savior. Gohan does that in the movie BoJack Unbound. BoJack was a minor villain who was set free after the deaths of Goku and Cell. He was a brief villain who came into the picture after the Cell Saga. Yet the movie in general was mostly to show that Gohan was the strongest fighter because of the fact that he had to be the strongest in order to protect everyone. He grows stronger spiritually the more he connects with his father. Biblically, it is said that to set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the spirit is life and peace. In Dragon Ball Z, it is shown that even after death, one spirit will continue to live on for eternity. To be blunt, the spirit is the truest form of a person. The body may be numb or may experience a quick brush of death, but one spirit is what really determines how someone will be in life. Because of Goku and everyone in Gohan's life, Gohan bears good spirit, and from then on that spirit has not changed. Gohan's spirit overall represents peace. Peace is something that he always fights for, especially for himself, and peace is what he usually gets in the end. To sum this all up, Gohan had the most character development and growth during his teenage years, which up to this day is still very memorable. Fast forwarding into Gohan's life, he is an adult and he is still the same, kind and caring. Yet he is not too much of a primary protagonist compared to his younger years. Also, Gohan is not as strong and has slacked off on his training. This is learned later on that he slacked off because over the years the world was at peace and Gohan only fights when everyone is in danger. Because there was no danger, Gohan settled down and lived normally. He studied hard in his books due to teaching and attended high school. He actually played baseball and went on a date with a girl, though the date was blackmail. But most of all, he met Videl. Videl is the daughter of Hercule, who is a rich, popular martial artist and con man. Hercule was present during the Cell Saga, and he lied and took all the credit for defeating Cell, even though it was Gohan. Because of this, Hercule tends to be disliked within the DBZ fan base. Videl, however, later realizes that Hercule was not the one who defeated Cell, and that was truly Gohan, and keeps it a secret from everyone to protect his reputation. Gohan's other nickname is the Golden Warrior, since he turned Super Saiyan 2 and his hair turned gold while fighting Cell. Gohan also picks up another identity, the Great Saiyaman, just to protect people and keep his identity safe, similar to Superman. His identity is later discovered during a world fighting tournament. Many important characters appear in this tournament, including Supreme Kai, who warns Goku, Gohan, and other supporting characters about the evil character Babidi, who wants to rule the universe by releasing Majin Buu. Babidi secretly goes to work as he controls and orders a man named Spopovich to fight Videl during the world tournament and sends a message. Videl is brutally beaten, which causes Gohan to snap.
Please, somebody's got to do something! Videl will make the perfect wife for Gohan, but they'll never get together if she gets squashed like a bug!
Gohan!
Gohan has always been caring and willing to protect people, but he became very worried about Videl because over time they grew closer and she later became his girlfriend. Chi also took a liking to Videl because they are both similar in personality when Videl is first introduced into the show. Since Gohan has a good relationship with his mother, he therefore dated someone similar to her, which is usually normal for a person in real life. Gohan's desire to protect Videl shows that he has general respect for her, and that Videl grows to trust him more compared to the beginning when she was first introduced. The two are often seen together throughout the rest of the DBZ series and the movies, and they end up marrying and having a daughter named Pan. Overall, Gohan's life did work out well in the end.
Day, is he alright?
Him too! Mom, Videl, everyone, Gohan!
Videl. Mother. They're gone. And without Dende, we can't wish anyone else back.
And they were good. I turned them all into chocolate and gobbled them up.
Despite some setbacks in his fighting skills and training, Gohan did have some prime moments during the rest of the Dragon Ball Z series, including taking out Broly in a filler movie with his younger brother Goten after Broly comes back years later. What really brought out Gohan's shine is when he reaches his ultimate form, also called the Mystic Form. The Mystic Form is different from the Super Saiyan form from one that Gohan keeps his original hair color. Also, Gohan is more calm, confident, and in tune with his ultimate form, and Piccolo notices that. Compared to his previous Super Saiyan 2 form, Gohan is not as arrogant or filled with anger. Instead, he finds a balance to controlling his temper and is much powerful that way. Gohan's ultimate form is achieved through extensive training with Supreme Kai. He achieved his form, for it was an emergency and necessary to beat Super Buu. Super Buu is another form of Majin Buu, except he is more evil and at one point kills almost everyone, including his mother Chi-Chi and his girlfriend Videl. Similar to his fight with Cell, Gohan views his enemy as a major threat and decides that it is mandatory to kill him. Though Gohan had the upper hand in battle against Super Buu, he ends up losing the fight and gets a Zord after he gets distracted by Goku throwing him an earring used to fuse their bodies together. If they would have fused, it is speculated that they would have won, but that fusion never came to be. However, Gohan helps in the final battle against Kid Buu by giving his energy over to his father for him to form a final attack known as the Super Spirit Bomb. And with his help, Goku defeats the ultimate form of Buu and peace is restored. Gohan did have some important parts, but they mostly showed him to be mature as fullest and overall wise. Gohan went from a young boy filled with innocence and rage to a man who achieved complete Zen. By the end of the series, Gohan again becomes the strongest unfused character due to his full unlocked potential.
This place is really buzzing. Yeah, it feels less like a tournament, more like some kind of festival.
Here they come! Hey! How's it going, guys? You're looking good.
Don't you looking good us, Goku. I get that you're in training, but at least drop us a line now and then. It's been ages since we heard even a peep from you.
Sorry about that.
In the final episode of Dragon Ball Z, Gohan is completely settled down. In the last episode, years have passed by since anyone saw Goku, but everyone comes together and attends another world tournament. This tournament takes place after the Buu saga, and Gohan's daughter Pan is born. Gohan takes a break from fighting, but watches his daughter carry on his legacy as she participates in the tournament and gets very far. What separates Gohan in the end from majority of the Saiyans, including his father, is that he just wants to be more human. All he wanted in the end was peace and to live his life to the fullest. Gohan still trains once in Blue Moon in case of emergency, but for the most part he fully dedicates the rest of his life to being a father, a husband, and a very successful scholar. In general, Gohan wins at life considering that he's married to one of the richest females in the series and has a very stable home. To me, Gohan was a very solid character and very strategic. He was not only known just to be known as Goku's son, he made a name for himself, and that is Gohan. To some fans who think that Gohan became weak by the end of the series, he was never trash. He just simply grew up, and growing up is all part of life. He might snap again one day or be at his prime should anything happen to his family or friends, but a true Gohan fan will accept him for everything he represents, and that is Zen. I am very proud of Gohan and everything he has overcome from his childhood, his teenage years, and his adulthood. I am very proud to be a Gohan fan, and that will never change. Thank you for watching and listening.